Well, good evening and welcome everybody to the Full Sail University online classes. My name is Steve Kane, and as always, I am here in the Audio Workstations course. Tonight is Wednesday, January 4th, the new year 2018. It is still freezing cold out here in Florida. It's supposed to be sunny Florida. It was sunny today, but it was still mighty cold. It's sitting in like the phone says 46. Is it again 46? I can't get to that screen. Try to give you a little weather update as we're coming along. It says, oh, come on. 47. We are 1 degree warmer than we were for yesterday's class. So, woohoo for that. And as promised on tonight, since we've got Thursday night, we are going to go, when you look under your week one menu here, you see the Pro Tools assignment at the bottom, and that's what we're gonna be doing all night tonight. And as I explained to you guys earlier, let's go over our expectations of this stuff. As I go over this, I expect it to make sense the first time I'm explaining it as you're watching it, but I'm not expecting you to fully understand it. It's going to take another time or two of watching it, so I am expecting you to watch these videos a time or two. You'll find that the Thursday videos are generally a little bit quicker because you've got some guidelines to download. I did that, and then we've got a little zip file for you to download, and I've done that already. So we got our guidelines up here tonight, and I went ahead and downloaded our zip file. Let me show you what that looks like. So I saved it under our 1801 section 1 and our week uno, which is just Spanish for week 1. And this handy dandy little zip file. And when you open it up, you're going to have several folders. Not all of these because I've been working in there. I already did a save as, and I put my first and last name up there. Steve Kane in the membrane. Right, so I already did that. But I wanted to point out that this file right here, this audio files for import, this folder right here is not a normal file that you will find in Pro Tools. That is one that was specially provided by Full Sail University. So you could have a clap, add, and click to import later on into the audio files folder, which you will see is empty, right? So we've got our session folder, right? And now I opened up my session file, and then I did a save as, right? So as we jump right in, as you'll see, it says it is essential to attend the PTA overview class. And to check this out, because I'm going to show you some tips and tricks, because the whole thing is that I want you to be better at the end of the month than you are now. And I don't care if you've been working Pro Tools a couple of days or a couple of years. I want you to be better at the end of the month than you are right now. Is everybody cool with that? And I want to welcome, we've got a great studio audience here. Live with us is Brandon, Charita, Charlotte, Cheyenne, Christina, Danielle, Jason, Lambril. Let me know if I mispronounced that and how to pronounce it right. Richette and Willie are all up in this house on the front row. I'm getting a thumbs up from Lambril, so that's perfecto. Glad to see everybody here tonight as we go through this Pro Tools Assignment 1. I apologize for the stuffy sound. It's been a crazy couple of weeks here in the Sunshine State with allergerific weather. So if I need to grab this bottle of water here, I apologize if I'm coughing up and hacking and everything. So, well, let's get this party started. So as we said, I want you to get comfortable with Pro Tools. Now, let's before we get started, let's have a little talk with everybody. You know the expectations about watching the videos, that I expect you just to sit back and watch. I do not want you to try to keep up with me tonight. Just sit back and watch, because as I go through this, with your permission, I'm not just going to go through and like, here's how you do number 1, here's how you do number 2, here's how you do number 3. I want to actually give you some background information and give you a really good foundation for Pro Tools, so you can all be scarecrows, right? Outstanding in your field, right? And the only way you're going to be outstanding in your field, I know I'm getting the people ROFLing right now and the LOLing and LMAOing and oh yeah, it's one of those great jokes that just go over awesomely. I'm lying to y'all that I'm getting like crickets in the chat room. Nobody's saying anything. Charlotte's giving me a little bit of love, saying great joke. But no, I'm just getting like total silence in the chat room. So if you're listening to the archive, they're not laughing either. So don't take it too harshly. All right, so I will reward you with a better joke. What do you call a bear with no ears? Just B. Just B. All right, I'm going to be here all month. All right, so let's get this party started now. So here's what we are expecting. To watch this video a couple times, but here's the bigger picture here is I want you to tie, because these Pro Tools assignments are very much paint by numbers. You're going to do this exactly right or we're going to count it wrong, right? Because we're telling you exactly what to do, right? And so there's not much creativity in this, right? So I want you to think of this as like the push-ups part of learning Pro Tools, right? So you're going to go through and you're going to learn some cool editing tricks. And what I want you to do, like I said, whether you've been using Pro Tools for years or days, I want you to be better. So I'm going to show you some tips and tricks that I found to do things easier. And as we go through this thing tonight, we're going to pause and we're going to explain things and show you different ways of doing things and go from there. And then I fully expect you to take this creative paint by numbers assignment and everything that you learned from it and start applying these skills in your remix project, which gives you total creativity. All right, so do you understand how these two are to work together? The Thursday night assignments are just going to be like doing push-ups and getting you ready, just like making you go through the motions, making sure you know how to do a lot of things, right? And then you're going to apply these in a very creative way, however you want to the Monday nights as we do this remix and we start building up our tracks. So everybody give me a thumbs up if you're down with it, or you can say down with it, or you can say DWI, or okay, got it down, thumbs up, whatever you want to do. Thank you so much. Danielle and Richette and Jason, Lambril, Charita, Christina, Charlotte, and Willie. Everything good. All right. Well, let's start this party. All right. As I said, I went ahead. Oh, I'm rhyming again. Oh, dang it. All right. So when you open yours up, it's not going to look like that. It's going to look like that, and this thing will hide that. So it's going to look like this. And I already went ahead and did a save as. Now, tell me why I want you to do a save as. Tell me why that helps me. And you're like, dang it, I forgot he's going to ask me questions. I'm trying to over here cruise on Facebook and stuff. I forgot to tell you, this class is not going to be easy if you put me on the background. You got to give me your full attention. And it always gives me a backup point. Right? If I make a mistake, if I decide I want to do something later, if I want to do a different version, maybe I'm mixing and I just want to do a save as and make a karaoke version and mute the lead vocals. Right? It's simple, save as away, mute the lead vocals, do another thing, right? And then I got a karaoke version. So it always gives me a way. And then this way, if you start working and you mess up, you can go back and get it. So I've already done that, so we're going to cancel that. So this is what your screen is going to look like. And so we've already done number uno. Right, and so any questions before we get rolling? All great answers. I don't lose anything and to back up. And we're actually going to do something else to do a total backup. This is kind of like a partial backup. It does give me a great other standing point. So we've done our save as. Now, later on, I'm going to tell you that if you don't name it exactly that, it's the easiest and silliest way to lose a handful of points. So make sure you name it the first name, last name, Pro Tools, Assignment 1, PTA 1. All right, so open the tracks list and the clips list. Let's look at a couple ways to do that, shall we? But before we do that, do you know why Adele crossed the road? to say hello from the other side? Now I'm getting some. Now I'm getting some love in there. All right, well, let's do number 2. Let's do this thing. All right, so open the tracks list and clips list. Well, there's a couple ways to do this. Up in the upper right-hand corner, look at my mouse over here. It's a little bit bigger than most people's mouses. I made it bigger that way. And if I shake it, it gets even bigger. Do you see it? And you notice how that works? Look at that. And you see down here? Look, I got tracks list and clips list. But honestly, I think that it looks like grandma, on the internet. You know how grandma's real slow on the internet? I think if you're going to go over here and go like, show the tracks list like this, and then show the clips list, I think you're going to be looking like grandma on the internet. So let me show you how to do it the fast way. All right, everybody watch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click twice. Now watch my mouse. See how my mouse is a mouse? But then right at this little bar line right here, it turns into that little eye with, it looks like somebody standing with like barbells or something. And then if I move it a little further, it goes back to a cursor, right? So right where it's this, I'm going to double click. Watch this. Boom, boom. Now, it didn't make the boom sound. That was me, right? So if you're like, mine's not doing that, don't worry about it. Now, another way to do, you can open it up if you're like, I wonder if it opens up the same way. Well, yeah, check it out. Watch. Right, see that? See, right? You got to get right on the right there, and then watch. Bam! And then it just opens up like that. Now look at this. This little down here. Look all the way down here. See that little guy right there? Watch. That'll do it too. Look, that'll do it to the clips list right there as well. The tracks list, right? So I can double click, and now look, I get over right there. Bam! I kind of like that sound for opening and the other one for closing. Maybe we'll do like pa-pa for that one. So, and by the way, if you are, having fun, with the noises, it's just, especially if you're using quick keys and you're like pop, bam, bang, pop. It just, you get some attention. People are like, what are you doing over there? You're like, I'm just working like a ninja. All right, so you notice I've got all these tracks. Now, you're only going to have these 3, the kick, the clap, and the hat. Now, the way you show these, it's got this little dot here. You can click and drag the dot. That's good. Click and drag. That's good, right? You can option click on the dot and see them all, or show them all, or hide them all, right? But I've got these special for just because I'm doing a super broadcast over the internet. And I've got to have this live stuff. I need to have, these effects so later on we can say 00000. And I have a submaster so I can pull everything down. You're not going to have that. But what you are going to have, ladies and gentlemen, are the clap, the kick, and the hat track, just like that. You know what I mean, right? No. You might have this. Now, we need a few extra columns, right? Now, we've got a couple ways to get the extra columns, if you know what I'm talking about, right? I got this little drop-down menu right here, right? Huh? Check it out, right? I got my ins and my outs. I got to have a little bit of that love, right? Let me show you another way. Go up here up to do the view right up here, right, huh? Here, the window view, right? He shows up. Look at that I.O. like that. Look at that. I got my inserts I want to see like that. And I'm probably going to want to see my sends as we start going later on, too. So let's go ahead and see that, too. All right, inserts and sends and I.O.s. And we're rocking pretty much for right now. All right, 3 fingers down. Well, bam! Look at that. See how my tracks just fit by doing that? Well, let's go check out what it says. It says, from the audio files for import folder, import the kick, the clap, and the hats into the clips list into Pro Tools. And when prompted, choose the clips list. Now, we talked about this a little bit last night because it's either going to tell me clips list or track. Who wants to tell me why I would choose clips list versus track? I'll sing for you while you type your answer. Do 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 do. All right, I'm not going to sing another verse of this, so you got to start typing quicker than that. My people watching the archive is like, darn it, man, I can't even type in. And I'm just like, cause that's why you got to be here at the live class. It's part of the fun, right? So remember what we were talking about last night? I said when well, let's just do it. Let's get up here and let's get in here and we'll do it when we see it because it'll be easy to do it. File, import the audio, right? Shift Command I. That's what this up arrow is. Shift Command I, right? And it says audio files for import, and we got the clap, the hat, and the kick. Just like that. I shift click. Now notice it says copy, right? Last night it said convert, but look. So look, 1644.1. So the sample rate. So that means that my session is a 16-bit session, isn't it? It's a 44.1 session, isn't it? Aha! It's making sense now. I see. Very good, very good. So I'm going to shift click them all, right? Remember, we shift click to make a big selection. So, I don't want to just add it to the clips list, right? I want to copy it to the audio files folder, right? So I want to copy all of them over, and then when I hit done, it's going to say, hey, yo, where do you want to save this? Now, remember, I told you this was the best way to screw up, right? I don't want you being like some super genius, like, no, dude, I'm going to like organize all my files on the cloud. And then I'm going to feed it down from the cloud, which is just another computer somewhere. It's not really a cloud. Don't do that. Don't screw it up, right? We love that saying. Don't screw it up. It puts it right there, right in the session file for you. Even highlights the flipping folder, right? So then hit open, and that's when I'm telling you we can click clips list or tracks list. Now does this ring a bell? Right? Now when I ask that question, why would I choose a new track over new clips list? Does that ring a bell? Does the name Pavlov ring a bell? That's a psychology joke if I've ever heard one. Woo! I bet the dog was thinking, look, every time I salivate, he rings a bell. So if I had just a sample like tonight, like just a little bitty kick or a little bit of a clap, I'm going to kick the clicks list. But if it was the whole track, I probably would put the new track. So tonight we're choosing clips list, not just because it says, but now this is like I told you, I'm not just going to show you here's number one, here's number two, here's number three. We're going to get down and learn the down and dirty, right? So I make this choice based on was it a whole track of a clap section or was it just a couple samples, right? So this is a couple samples, so we're just going to throw it in the clips list. Hit the awk button, bam. And now let it do its magic, bam. Right? And now notice that these are bold now. And because these are bold, we're going to call these whole files. And what we're going to notice is that these whole files have now been copied into the audio files folder. Everybody get that cool? Right? They've now, oh, you know what? We could even put a little effects on that. They've all been copied to the audio files folder. Pretty cool. Does that make it more exciting for you? So now I can take it with me. I can take it with me anywhere. So we're going to get back to learning about this. So that's why we hit copy instead of add. If we just hit add, it would only be here, and it would not have copied here. Cheyenne says, I don't see the tracks in the group section on the left. Are you talking about from my screen right now, or are you talking about on your own screen? Okay, so what you can do, right, is you're going to do the little double click right when it goes here, right there. Come on, right there, right there. Click back in Pro Tools, right there. So if yours looks like this, you just go all the way over, do a little double click if you want to right there, Or you can go click this little down arrow back down right there, like that. So as we're doing this, let's go check it out. So it said set it to the clips list, right? And then now we're learning a little bit more real world because homeboy Steve wants you to be a scarecrow, remember? Right? Outstanding in your field, man. You know what you do when you see a spaceman? You park in it, man. So drag the newly imported regions from the clips list to the appropriately named track. So check it out, yo. When I'm doing this, let's learn about these modes a little bit. Let's look at shuffle mode a little bit. So let's get our kick. Now notice, I want you to notice this little area right here in just a minute. When I grab the kick to put on that track, because it's in shuffle mode, as soon as I cross over into the playlist area, you're going to see a yellow line appear right over there. Right over there. All right, see that yellow line right there? Now, so no matter where I let it go, it shuffles over and does this, right? So shuffle mode automatically snaps and attaches to things, right? I'm not going to leave this here, but let me show you what I mean here. Let's say, unlike slip mode, all right, so we're hitting pause. We're not working on the project. We're taking a moment to go down a rabbit hole of teaching. Don't be scared. All right, so in slip mode, look, I can slip it anywhere, right? All right, now check it out. So now I've got one here. Look what happens when I do shuffle mode again. Now shuffle mode, look, it'll magnetically snap to the back of that one, or the front of this one, or the back of that one, or the front of that one. So you see how that's kind of neat? You see that little yellow line, right? Everybody say neato. You don't have to say Nito Dorito. We'll just say Nito for short. Or if you want to say ND for Nito Dorito, yeah. All right, so that's everybody see how shuffle mode works? It magnetically snaps, and it's also going to insert time. Watch. That same little gap will be there, right? So I didn't really need that there. I was just using it to explain the difference of shuffle mode versus slip mode. So slip mode, let's grab the clap, right? So we'll grab the clap. So now we know that we can slip it anywhere we want to. Now, if I had the smart tool, now see the way this is selected. See how all three of these buttons were chosen because I clicked up in this upper area right up her. You know what, with this big mouse, it is so awkward to click. I just know it shows up better on the videos. But so if I click right above in this little area, I'll get the smart tool. And what that means is that it changes function based on where I am on the clip, right? And so this is kind of cool if you like to work with your mouse a lot and you've only got a few tracks on there, but you might enjoy working with just single tools as well. So speaking of that, let's run down yet another rabbit hole. And let's look. The two main things that we're going to be using in Pro Tools are going to be these modes and these tools, right? That's the two biggest things that you switch all the time in Pro Tools. Everybody say, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. All right, so check it out. Check it out. Look down at your keyboard for a second. Look over by that space bar. That's the big one on the bottom. You've got two keys next to that, Option and Command. All right, now check this out. Option is on the left side. Command is on the right side. Everybody see that? Everybody see that? All right, so let me ask you something. If you were designing Pro Tools, which one would you have to be the quick key for controlling the modes over here on the left side? Would it be Option or Command? Because you're thinking, well, if this is on the left side and Option's on the left side, and so check it out. Option 1, 2, 3, 4. See how I did that? I didn't even click. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 1, 4. Right? And I'm just holding down Option. So now I'll ask you, dun da da da, what quick key do you think, what modifier key do you think I'm going to hold down to start changing my tools? Yeah, Charita comes in with the command. You're right. So check it out, left to right, just like you read, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, unless you read Hebrew, and then it would be opposite. But if you read regular left to right English, right? So check it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this way you don't need to really memorize it. It's kind of like ergonomically cool because you can look at it and you're like, that's the third one over, and it's on the right side, so I'll do like Command 3. Or I need to move it, so I'm going to grab the grabber, so I'm going to do Command 4. Everybody cool like that? Yeah? Yeah, homeboy Steve, like I said, making you scarecrows, right? Now, see, because here's the real deal, right? I'm going to tell you something real. Lean close a little bit. I know everybody's on the front row here, but I don't want you to make sure you hear this. All right, so check this out. The real deal is to let somebody that is watching you behind you work say, hey, how'd you do that? And so you got to be really quick at doing a handful of a couple of things that you do often. So because if you're always like going over here and dragging this and going here and clicking here and getting that, they're going to watch everything you do, right? But if you're like, bam, bop, boom, bam, bop, boom, bop, bam, like I need that too, and I need spot mode, bam. And they're like, wow, holy cow, you're quick. How'd you learn that? And you're like, dude, homeboy Steve taught me, and he was like a 5-foot ninja, right? I'm not really 5 foot. I'm like 5 foot, like 4 or something, like 5'5". But I'm still a ninja, regardless. And now that was slip mode. So did everybody see slip mode? And you got to get the grabber, right? So Command 4, because now we're looking like a BA, if you know what I mean. That's what my middle schooler says. He says, I want to be a BA at it. He's like, you know what that means, Dad? And I was like, of course I know what it means. I'm a BA. So check it out. I grab it, and then you can slip it anywhere, right? Any sample that you wanted to, right? And this one up, right, is I think up under the setup window. We can double check it. Look at our session. Was at 44.1, right? So at any of those 44,100 samples, we can slide this to in slip mode. So when we do it at the very beginning, we just got to make sure we're at the very beginning here. And this is leading me to my next story. This is called the edit event area. See the edit selection length, end, and edit selection area. So you can always double check what you're looking at here. All right, so let's look at spot mode. Spot mode is great when you're having tea, because you get what spot with tea, right? No, I'm kidding. Grab our hats, and it's like, hey, what spot do you want me to put it at? And you can put it in right there. I want to put it sort of beginning. Put one. Right, and it goes like that. Now check it out. Here's spot mode again. Check it out. Boom, I click it. What if I want the end to be over here at measure 3? See measure 3 right here? Put the end over at measure 3. Well, bam. And you're like, well, dang, dude, why would I ever want to line up the end of something with something? Well, I don't know. Maybe you're doing like a reverse snare drum and you want it to go like, doom, shack, doom, shack, doom, shack. Or maybe you're doing a movie and you got the somebody slamming the door and it goes, bam, right? And then that's what. All right, so everybody good with spot mode, right? And so what I want to do, I'll tell you a for real cool thing that happened to me. I was in Nashville. I mentioned I was going to Memphis for the weekend, and this producer said, "Hey, I'm going to be over at Ardent Studios for the weekend. You want to swing by?" And I was like, "Heck yeah, I want to swing by." I mean, homeboy drove a 911 and stuff. He just had a nice #1 on the charts and such, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll swing by." And so he's like, we'll be doing some stuff there. So I was in Memphis. I was that's where I grew up. Spent a lot of time outside of Memphis. And so when I got there, he said, hey, you want to help? And we got to fly in these these tambourine hits. We call them the hit maker. This is old John Hampton before he passed away, bless his soul. And it was on this. What was the album? I forget offhand. One of the Jim Blossoms albums. But anyway, we flew in this tambourine on the chorus, and we had to fly it in on tape. And wouldn't have spot mode if we had Pro Tools been so much easier to just click and put, like, if I knew exactly where I wanted something to put it at, like, let's pretend it was a snare, measure 2, beat 2, and then put it there exactly, right? And then have that. But anyway, so spot mode, we want this at measure 1. So everybody cool with spot mode? And later on, we'll talk about the sync point. But you can put the so we've got all of them, and then grid mode. Grid mode. Let's just play with it for a minute. Grab it. Now, right now, my grid is at 1 bar, right? So check it out. It's going to move to the next bar, right? And it's going to, or if I had my grid at an 8th note, it would move around by 8th notes. So everybody cool with that, and see how it's not slipping? It's moving exactly by the grid. But let me ask you a question. All right? So this is going to be a true or false question. The tempo has to be correct in order for grid mode to work properly. True or false? T or F? The tempo has to be correct for grid mode to work properly. Right? That's a big old true, right? Because if right now, let's listen right now, right? We got 80. It says the tempo right now is at 80 beats a minute. Let's get a click track going on. So check it out. Easiest thing in Pro Tools. Track, create click track. Bam. Just like that. And look, put it right there. 3 fingers down. All right. So now listen to this. Let me get my submaster and turn this down so I can make that click louder. Come on, submaster. I don't need my delay right now, but we'll get that later. So let me pull this down for a second. Listen to this click. All right, so I'm going to put this in loop playback here. All right, so we got loop playback. See how that click track is doing it? It's almost like doing this cool little rhythm, like bop, boom, boom, bop, boom, boom, bop. But for real, what should be happening when you're listening to this music is this. Let's mute this click. It should be sounding like, it should be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So can everybody hear that click is off? Can everybody hear that? All right. If you cannot hear that this click is off, I want to talk to you about our business degree programs we have here at Full Sail University. No, I'm kidding. As long as you can hear that. And everybody said, yes, I appreciate it. Thank you, Cheyenne. Thank you, Lembriel, Charita, Richette, Charlotte, Charita, Willie. Oh, now you're just laughing at me because I said about the bachelor's degree. All right, so check this out. All right, so let's get this out. All right, so we dragged all of the regions, or the clips, we'll call them, from the clips list to the appropriate name tracks. Any questions at this point? If we got any questions, you can give me a big old thumbs up. You know how I love those. You can give me a all good. Just let me know you don't have, you're like, dude, I told you I'm trying to make a sandwich over here, and I got peanut butter all over my hands. I'm trying to stir my ramen so my noodles don't burn. I can't type to you all the time. I'm supposed to listen, not interact. Oh, by the way, just in case you were here last night, I remember when I thought I made Danielle mad, and I thought she left. She told me, I apologized to her tonight, and she told me that she was not mad, that her computer died. And so I was like, whew, good. So that awkward silence I was all worried about that today. So just if you're listening in archive world, and you're like, oh, I'm glad. And then I had another student ask me while we're sitting here on questions. I had another student ask me, hey, what about the archives? I know they're up there, but what about when you put the new one? How can I access the old ones? And the way you're going to do that is by clicking in that upper left-hand corner, and then you'll be able to see all the ones in the past. So, all right. Now, so look at this. Now we got to change the session tempo to 120 because our click doesn't work. So this is simple. We just click the plus button, right? And we say we want measure 1. So we'll just click up here. I hit option. No, sorry, I hit shift tab and it jumped up there automatically. I just type in measure 1 and I want it to be 120. Bada bing, bada boom, right? Bada, and now listen. Can everybody hear the difference now? And you're like, no, you didn't mute the click, dummy. Can you see how that works now? Oh, yeah, I see how it works. I see how it works. Now, you might be in the position, right, where if you look at your under windows, remember that's where you see everything, transport window, and you're over here. Remember, you've got manual, you've got conductor mode, right? So now, if you were in manual mode and you're sitting here like, dude, I can't even click the plus button. It doesn't work. I hate it. Pro Tools stinks. I want Logic. All right? Don't worry. Don't worry. You're just give it a little second, right? So the big clue that you're in manual tempo mode is the word manual tempo. And so what we want is conductor mode because we want control over it because we want to put in tempo changes, right? So that's how you would make sure. So everybody cool? We got 2 modes, manual tempo and conductor. Now, here's what I do like about manual mode is I can, and I'm just showing you a little trick here, is if you were listening, if you weren't really sure what something was, you could highlight here and tap the T key as you play it. And it'll display what you're typing, and then so that way you're like, all right, cool. If they tell me 120, they're close enough, cool. All right, so now we go back here. We're at 120. So everybody good? Manual mode versus conductor mode. We're just learning a little bit, so we got that tempo at 120. So our grid works now. So what we want to do is duplicate the drum clips 3 times for a total of 4 bars. R's, 4 bars. Right, and duplicate is just a fun way to say duplicate. So I don't want anybody going like, "Hey, would you duplicate?" Right? It's just my instructor calls it duplicate. I'm just saying it's silly. So you're like, "Ugh." All right. So duplicate the drum clips 3 times for a total of 4 bars. So what you could do, you got a couple ways of selections here. All right. So let me tell you about this. All right, so see this here selector tool, right? What was the quick key for that? When does anybody remember? Well, bam. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, you're like, bam. Yep, Command 3 Cheyenne is on the quick draw tonight. Command 3, way to go, Cheyenne. Command 3, bam, just like that. So now I got the selector. So I can click and drag inside, right? And it's doing it upon a grid right now. But look what happens when I double click. Uno, dos, right? Which is just Spanish for 2, right? When I double click, it gives me the entire clip. Isn't that cool? Uno, dos, right? Or check it out. If I had the grabber tool, so somebody is wanting me to do a whoosh, like that, like I'm whipping it out, like I whipped out the grabber. You like that? Whoosh. Is that what we're talking about? All right, so now we got that going on. But now look, I can't get inside, so that grabs it the whole thing, right? And if you click on it twice with the grabber, look what happens. Boom, boom, right? You change the name, right? And just be careful about renaming disk files and stuff because you don't want things to get offline and not find anything anymore. So I'll cancel that. I just wanted to show you that there were 2 ways to select. So now, what did we say that we could hold down? What modifier key did we say we could hold down and click over here, and it selects everything in between? I said it selects because that was the way I was having you remember it last night. I was hold down shift to select, right? But look what happens when you hold down shift when you select over here and you're like, bam, and you're like, wait a minute. I thought it was supposed to get everything in there. Well, don't freak out, Christina, right? Christina was like, shift. I like it. But now she's like, oh man, I don't like it anymore because it tricked me. But look at this. Check it out. And this is what just makes Pro Tools Pro Tools. If I had over here and I just simply shift clicked, or is it clacked? Clicked. Shift clicked on the name badge. Boom. Look at then it acts like a real shift click. So that's one of those crazy things about Pro Tools where it's just totally matters where you're clicking it, because people are like, dude, I hate Pro Tools, man. It's like it's supposed to select everything in between, and it's not. When I hold down Shift and look, there's a Pro Tools sucks. I want Logic. All right. I know what happens, but when you're at that point, you just got to say, all right, somebody made it better. I just got to know there's a better reason, right? Just shift click over there. Now they said duplicate 3 times. What menu do you think duplicate is under? It's an editing function. I'll give you a hint. All right? I'll give you a hint. I'll start waving my mouse around it. What menu do you think it might be under? There we go, Charita with the slam dunk. Well, bam. Edit menu, right? And look right there, duplicate. And look at that command key, Command D. That's my favorite rapper, man, Command D. Bam. Look at that. Bam, Command D. Duplicate. Bam, bam. Look at that. Hey, I'm going to do it, Command right there. Command D. Bam. Just like that. Another Command D. Bam. Because it said do it 3 times, so I got a total of 4 bars. Now, does anybody remember what 2 keys I'm hitting right now to make myself zoom real tight? Does anybody remember? That was the clue. Real tight. R and T, baby. That's right, Lambriel. T goes one way, R goes the other. But remember, you got to have what button on. What button's got to be on? You're like, dang it, why does this guy have to like ask me quizzes questions like all during class? Dang it, why can't he just show me how to do the homework and make it quick, man? Because I want you to be a scarecrow, all right? Everybody's remembering this button, right? Our little friendly A to Z button, or as we call it, the keyboard focus button. If your R and T isn't working, see how my R and T isn't working anymore? And then I hit this little A to Z button. Everybody see my mouse? Let me shake my mouse and make it bigger. Did anybody ever know that? If you shake your mouse, it gets bigger. There you go, see? I love this new OS. Boom. All right, and now R and T, zoom real tight. Now let's go back to let's keep going down this rabbit hole of learning for a minute. Remember our handy dandy selector tool. I need to get inside. So right, Command 3, right? Everybody remember that? Command 3. All right, and I need to get inside. Well, now let me show you another trick. And we said we could hit it twice, uno dos, and it selects the whole clip. Look what happens when I do 3 times, uno dos tres. Look at that. You see that? 3 times, it gets everything on the track. Is that not flippin' cool or what? And you're thinking, oh my gosh, that's just like the internet. Like if I was on the internet, like probably somebody's on Facebook right now, so we'll just go ahead and get on Facebook, right? We'll get on Facebook. And let's say here, we'll go over and let's go over to Steve Kane Productions, right? So as you're looking up Steve Kane Productions, you can like that if you want to. And as we go over here, shameless plugs. Oh, come on. What's up with the internet taking so long tonight? All right. So, oh yeah, this is so weird. This is where I'm actually lecturing to you from, is right there. I'm sitting in this chair right now, but I'm looking the other way. All right, so check it out. So if we got something here. All right. So come on, give me some words. I want to click words. All right. Well, here's one. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Just like the internet. See that? Look at that. Oh, look, there's the grand piano we just got, Mason and Hamlin. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So it selects the entire paragraph. Pro Tools is the same way. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Right? So now if I want to zoom all this, let me show you yet another zoom one. You've got the R and the T, right? Because you want to zoom real tight. But let me show you another way. You want to have the option to fit this all in the screen. So check this out. Option F, baby. Look at that. Would you look at that? Just look at it. All you can do is just look at it. If you're not familiar with that skit, so you don't think I'm weird, go to YouTube and look at it, and that way you'll understand why I'm doing it in that voice and everything. But you look at that. All you can do is just look at it. So now I got this fourth thing. Let's listen. And the click goes with it. Hey, we've got it on repeat. Oh, listen. Oh, yeah. Now, why did it not go into loop playback? We had it in loop playback. I'm going to tell you a little trick here. There's a couple reasons that it might not do loop playback. One of them could be that dynamic transport was on, but that's not. I doubt that it was the pre-roll and post-roll, but we'll try it. But we got loop playback on here. Let's try it one more time. There we go. Now it started to loop and doesn't make me look like a poop, like I don't know what I'm going to do, but I will fix it. Yeah, I'll make it right and tight. That's why we did our tempo change, so my click track sound right and tight. You know what I mean? He's like, oh my gosh, my instructor is laying down bars. Man, everybody cool with that? Any questions? So we got we got 4 bars now, right? Our click track works. This is cray. We need to do a save. Let's do a save. Oh, isn't that a beautiful piano? Mason Hamlin. If you don't know about Mason Hamlin's, go look up Mason Hamlin's. So they're awesome. So we duplicated that 3 times for 4 bars. So we got that. And we can double check by going uno, dos, tres, right? And look, right up here, it tells us that the length is 4 bars. I don't want you guessing by this, because if you're zoomed in really weird, you might think it's, or have some kind of weird grid, you might think it's weird. You can always see what you've got going on in your edit selection area. So option F, let's fit that baby back. Fit that baby back, baby back, baby back. I'm going to fit that baby back, baby. All right, so in grid mode, we got 2 types of grid mode. Let's talk about this for a minute. Grid mode, because see, I got it right there. See that little drop-down arrow? You've got absolute and relative, right? So they say that absolute grid goes better with orange juice than relative grid. That's a vodka joke. No, all right. So here's the difference. I'm going to show you the difference right now. Everybody want to see the difference? Say, you can put see it. See it. I want to see it. Because seeing is believing, right? I want to see it. All right, so check it out. I'm going to go to slip mode for just a minute for teaching. And I'm going to pop this this one guy over here. Let's reselect. Let's just slip this one right over here a little bit, okay? So now see how it starts right at 710? And my grid is for every 8th note. So it should end up on a 480 or this. So watch. Now, look what happens if I go to absolute grid mode. What it's going to do is it's going to go exactly to that grid point, either there or there. Everybody cool with that? It goes to absolutely will go to the grid point, even though it was in the middle, right? So I'm going to slip it off the grid again. Now, let's pretend we're going to go down into the islands, man, right? And we're going to listen to the little bit of reggae, man, right? And I got the little snare drum going. My snare drum is not falling early, right? We got a little late, man. And so I zoom in and I look at the line, and we're going to pretend that's a snare, and we'll say it's a little late, man, but that's the way that feels good, man. You know what I mean, man? So I want to keep that feeling, man. And so what I do, man, is I go to the relative grid, man. And check it out. Now it moves relative to the grid. I want to keep it a little late over here. And look, I move it over here, and it stays a little late over here. And it stays a little late over there, or it stays a little late over there. Everybody see what I mean? Now give me a yeah. Yeah, I see the difference. It either goes to the grid point or by the grid amount. Yeah, you know, you like it, yeah? So let's go back to the absolute. So we go absolutely to the grid point. So I can line that hat back up. And now we'll do that. Good. Let's do a little save Aroni. I haven't saved for a while. Command S. Thank you for reminding me, you guys. You gotta be it, man. Nobody was like, "Hey, Steve, you better save." Y'all gotta practice that as interns. You gotta have this little thing between your engineering. You say, "Hey, command it, man," and that's your keyword for like, "Hey, you haven't saved in a while. You better save." You're like, "Dude, he's the commander," and you'll watch your engineer go over there and you work that ahead of time. And you're like, "Nice." All right, so look. In the grid mode, 16th mode. So we're in grid mode. Now we know the difference. So I want you in absolute grid mode. And so now we're going to put it to 16th notes. So I've got 8th notes. If you were not seeing that, maybe you're seeing some kind of other amount over here, right? You can change this, right? But we're going to stay in bars and beats. So you got 16th notes. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah? Good. So I zoom, zoom, zoom. And now I can take Command 3, right, to get my tool here. And now I can select by the grid. Everything is groovy. It says duplicate the clap located at 42000 7 times. So I look over here at my ruler and I say 4 and 5. So 2 is kind of got to be right there. And look, there's a clap right there at 4 2. I put it right there. I zoom, zoom, zoom. R and T, baby. Right? And look, I do that. Right? I get that. And I don't think 7 would fit if I tried to do that, because it says, do not duplicate over the last clap in this clip. If there is no clap at that location, you have completed step 3 improperly. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, I don't think that's going to work. So I think we just need to do that. So now I duplicate it 7 times. Is that what it said? Lucky number 7. So look at this. Uno, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then boom, don't duplicate over. So now let's listen to what we did to the clap. Let's listen to it. I just duplicated the clap, and let's see what happens. Oh yeah. That's pretty cool, right? Yeah, you hear it? Let's do it one more time. I just duplicated the clap, and I just did it 7 times. So that's how you're sounding right. Let's do a little save. So, hey, man, look at that. We're done step 5. Whoa, we're halfway there. I'm going to sing it just like that. I'm a great singer, right? This is my voice. This is my voice. We're halfway there, y'all. Look at that. All right, so it's going to go quick here. So let's go here. We got grid mode already. We've already got our resolution at 16th notes. It says copy the clap located at 1, 2, and paste it at 1, 2, 480. So look, what you can do. Oh, look, I'm going to show you something else now. You can type in here 1, and then I just hit the sideways arrow, 2, and see how it zeroes it out, and then hit boom, return. And so look, it's already there. And so now I can just select it. If I zoom in a little bit, I can click and drag. But notice, look at this. I want you to notice this. See how it told me that the 16th note was 240 ticks? So if I started at 0 and I add 240, if I wanted to, I could just type in here, right? So it says to copy it. So does anybody know the quick key to copy? Right? Oh, yeah. The same as every other program, Command C. But check it out, Charita. Check it out, Charita. I don't have to hold down Command if I've got this A to Z button. Now, I know you can't hear my mouse clicking on it. I tried to hold down my mic for a second, but I swear I'm just hitting C. Right? And it just copied it. Now, it said paste it at 12480, right? So check it out. Just type in there 12480, 480. Boom, 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 bam, and then hit V, just like that. I said hit V, just like that. Did it not copy and paste it? All right, come on. C, and then 480, V. All right, there we go. Now it's doing it. So now I've got that clap going on. Oh, yeah. My clap is getting crazy. Now I got a clap instead of just a clap. So now let me show you a little bit more. So you like that a little bit because you're like, dude, I want to be better at the end of the month than I am at the front of the month because I've got homeboy Steve teaching me. Right? If there was no clap at that location, you've completed step 3 improperly. But there was. We got it. And we got it good. So let me show you again. We're going to do another one, but says, look at this. Copy the clap located at 3.2 and then paste it at 3.2.480. Now I'm going to show you ninja freaking mode right here. Everybody ready? Like, so quit looking at Facebook. Quit looking at YouTube. Bring my screen back to the front. Here we go. I'm about to go ninja on you, right? So check this out. If we know that it's 240 ticks, look at this edit event area. Now, do this for a second. Hold your hands out in front of you, up and down, right? Like you were measuring something, right? And now slightly tilt your fingertips to the right, and it looks like a forward slash, right? Right? Everybody doing that? Tell me FS for forward slash if you're doing it, right? Say FS for forward slash, right? So that's what you would say, like if you're like, dude, I caught a fish this long, right? I don't care if you fish or not, but you know what I'm talking about, right? You'd say, you put your hands up in the air and you wave them like you just don't care, and then you'd say, it was this long, you give them a measurement, right? So now just tilt your fingers to the right, and it looks like a forward slash. So check this out. Look what my forward slash does. Now, this is only the forward slash on my calculator keyboard, but see what it does? It cycles through this, right? And then if I couple it with a little sideways arrow, right, I can get cray, because it said from 3.2. Well, I know it's 3.2, right? So I'm going to go forward slash 3, sideways arrow 2. Whoops, sideways. All right, forward slash 3, sideways arrow 2, forward slash 3, sideways arrow, 240. Now look, it made the selection. I know you can't see it, so just zoom, right? Zoom, and then you'll see it. And now all I got to do is hit C, and then I want to paste it at where? 32480, right? So now you're thinking he was clicking up here, but there's got to be a quick key. You're thinking to yourself, if there was a quick key here like the forward slash, certainly there's got to be a quick key here, right? So let me ask you this. When you're in the session, right, who's going to tell you where they want to go, especially if the producer is not there, right? Usually it's the star, right? The star is going to say, could we go back to like verse 2? And like, okay, is everybody cool with that? Right? So now, here's what I want you to do. What character, though, looks like a star? Right? You can type out the character if you want right now, or you can type out the word asterisk, or you can type in an asterisk if you want to. So come on, do it. Show me that you know. Show me that you're still listening to me. Show homeboy Steve some typographical love. Show me that asterisk. Right, there we go. Nice, thank you, everybody. So check this out. I hit asterisk. Let's get back in here. Asterisk, and look, it highlighted this one. 3, sideways arrow, 480, enter, V. And if some of you are thinking, holy crap, he just did a copy and paste and didn't even select with the mouse. How many people are doing that? You can say HC for holy crap, right? Or for holy cow, whatever you want to say, right? Holy cats and dogs. I just made a selection, copied it, and then pasted it simply by using quick keys. You want to make people go, how'd you do that? How'd you do that? And if you're doing it like, you can just do it. You can make sound effects while you're doing it. In grid mode with the grid resolution, delete the kick located at 12480. All right, so now 12480. So forward slash 12480. And let's just go there. Actually, let's just go there. Let's type in asterisk 1 to 480. And let's just go there and see this kick, what they're talking about. What are you talking about, soldier? You got a kick there at 1, 2, 480. Don't forget the tail of the kick there. Got a little tail you got to work out. So that's going to be 720 clicks there. So you could either drag it there. You could type in there. You got a plethora of ways now, cowboy. And look, to delete it, just boom, hit delete. Delete it like that. Delete it. All right. So kick located at 12480. Oh, and there's another one at 14240. Now this one right here, 4. What did it say? 4240. 240. 240. That one. All right, so check this out. Who remembers something from last night's lecture that would be a really cool way to select right now? Who remembers this one? What did I hit right now to go bam like that? Who remembers? Who remembers? Do you remember? Do you remember Wednesday when I showed you tap to transient way with the shifter and holding shift and I tabbed and I tabbed and I shift and I tabbed? Do y'all remember that? Is anybody out there? Right? So I selected it that way. Look, I just hit delete. Boom. Now let's see what it sounds like. Whoop, better hit save. Let's listen. Oh, yeah, it sounds a little funky. Yeah, I like that. I like that in the beginning, I think. So you did this exactly right or exactly wrong, right? We're going to check the numbers out. If they are not exactly right there, we are not hip to be square, right? It's got to be exact or you get the whole thing wrong. In grid mode with the grid resolution of 16th notes, select that hat located at 3, 1, and duplicate it 14 times. What? 14 times. So check it out. Homeboy Steve said /3 /3 and then sideways arrow 1 and 240. And I think that's the one. They said the clap, right? Or no, they said the which one? The hat. The hat located there. So I get my hat. Look at that one. That one just right there. Boom. And duplicate it 14 times. Right? Will it go 14 times before there? I think so. Let's do it. So now if I wanted to, check it out. Look at this. Instead of duplicate, I can go to repeat. You have the option to repeat. And then I can type in 14 times. I wanted it 14 times, right? And it says, be careful, do not duplicate over that open hat. Let's try it. 14 times. We did it. We did it. We did it. Now listen. Oh, I hear it. Oh my gosh, we are some editing mofos right now. Oh my gosh. So, I got people saying, hey man, I gotta go. I'm gonna watch the archive later. Y'all forgot this is supposed to be like church. You're supposed to like sneak out of the back, like not making a sound. And people are going like, hey man, I'll see you later, man. I gotta go. Peace out, y'all. I'll catch the archive. It's supposed to be like church. You got to sneak out the back. All right. So, we got one more. Holy cow, and we're done. Look at that. I told you this stuff gets easy, right? So now you're learning some really cool quick keys between the asterisks and the /slashes. You better start practicing and making perfect. All right. Select all 3. Right, clips, the kick, the clap, and the hat located 4-1 through 5-1. Oh, so you're totally going to do / now, right? /4 to /5. I mean, how much easier could it get? Oh, wait a minute. It did 5, 192. Uh-oh. //5, 1. There we go. Full measure. And it said all 3 of them. Oh, a little shift click. A little shift click with that. That's right. Uh-huh. That's good. Little shift click. That's good. Right? Select all three clips located 4.1 through 5.1 and navigate to the audio suite menu. All right? So check it out, guys. The audio suite menu, and I'm going to talk about this more in week 4. I'm going to talk about it more up in week 4. In week 4, going to talk about it a little bit more. So these are rendered effects. All right, so check it out. We're going to go render this thing. We're going to go to pitch shift, and we're going to verify it, and we're going to render all these 3 regions so it slows down like a record stop. All right, so check it out, party people. Audio suite. Now, so you got to select it to affect it. Audio suite. We got pitch shift, verify, okay. Verify. Now, a couple little things. We want to make sure that we're using in playlist. I'll explain more of that in week 4. I'll explain a little more up in week 4 when we talk about these a little more. But so right now, I'll put use in playlist and slow this mother down. We want the entire selection, and we want it to create a continuous file. Hit render and watch this. And it says now, look, verify, and you're like, what did it do? Let's listen. And I will play it for you, and you will hear this effect that we did. Oh my gosh, are you serious? When we turn that click off, let's turn the click back off. Let's listen again. I'm telling you, we just did editing like a fool. Oh my gosh, you're thinking, by this lecture alone, Steve, man, I am editing so much quicker. Actually, let me rephrase that. After I practice with the / and the asterisk key, which are only available to you by that 10-key keyboard, I'm urging you to buy one. It's going to make you a quick mofo. Right? I want you to practice and practice and practice, guys. All right, so check it out. That is everything. Please review the next page for properly delivery of the session. Right, preparation. So once completed, we need to turn this in, the save copy in. All right, so here's the real world scenario of save copy in. We've done file save, and you told me earlier tonight that save as gave me a cool little new version or whatever. But save copy in is what we're going to do at the end of the night when we're backing up everything. Right? And I want everything backed up, including the audio files, and it will copy over these audio files. Because remember, it's not a matter of when your hard drive crashes. It's a matter of if. I reversed that. It's not a matter of if your hard drive crashes. It's a matter of when your hard drive crashes, right? So you're going to do this on a different location, right? You're not going to screw around with any of this. You're going to leave this the same as you did as you started the session, and we're going to click this audio files. That's the big thing. And then when I hit awk, right, it's going to say, hey, yo, where do you want me to save this? And see how it says copy of right now, because I already had one named. Somebody is not going to watch this archive, and they're going to leave it saying copy of instead of putting it here and taking it off. And as long as you change where you're saving it. So notice that I went right back to my desktop, right? So now I can save it with that same name. And I swear, even though I said that, I'm going to still get like 5 or 6 people that's going to leave copy of, and I'm going to count them off for it. So I'm going to hit save and watch. It's going to copy over these audio files. I don't want you thinking, oh, yeah, cool, it didn't do it. So now let's go double check that. Let's go look at the desktop, shall we? Okay. So I got a little desktop right over here. I got my PTA file that would just save right over here. So notice that it just has audio files. So sometimes I'll get people not doing this right either. They'll just copy their whole darn session and give me like the bounced files and their backup files and everything, and it lets me know that they didn't do the save copy incorrectly. All right, so real world. Right? You're going to do this for every client that is paying you. And even if they're not paying you, you're going to do it because you don't want to have your stuff messed up. And you're like, but hard drives are expensive, right? Then charge for them. Ask your client, say, do you want me to back it up? It's a $10 fee. And then 10 songs and you bought a hard drive, right? So that's not a bad deal. But look, I got all these audio files in there, the original claps and such, and then the verified ones. Right now, I want you to notice that it's only the whole files, only the bold ones that are in my audio files folder, not the individual clips. And that's true with my other one as well. Right? When we look at documents, see, look at this. And notice how it doesn't have all that extra crap in there. All it has is the session I was working on and the audio files folder. And that's all we want. And some people are going to copy this whole darn thing and give me everything. And I'm like, dude, I didn't want all that. I'm going to count off for that too. So when you're at the desktop, I don't want you to turn this in. We're not done yet, PTA 1. So we've got to compress it next. So I'm going to right click and we're going to compress it. And then that is going to make that zipperoni file. And that's what I want you to turn in, that zipperoni file right there. So let's check it out. So name the session, first name, last name, right? PTA 1, save copy in, check the audio files box, right? That one right there. And then archive it to your desktop so you can take the words copy of off of it, compress it, zip it for me, and then upload it by the assignment due date. So when you're looking at this, first off, if you don't do that save copy in right, and the assignment is submitted without audio files, it is going to be considered incomplete and receive a 0. Zero. I'm telling you, I mean, that is so much fun. All right, so 10 points. Naming the session. That is the silliest 10 points by leaving copy of on there. That's the silliest 10 points. We imported our tracks. We adjusted our tempo. We duplicated them all exactly 4 bars. We duplicated 7 times on that 16th note grid exactly at 4-2. And we're checking these exactly, not 42003, but 420 exactly, right? So then we edited and pasted more on our claps over there, measure 1 and measure 3. We deleted some of our kick, and then we duplicated our hats. We learned about the repeat function then. And then we did a little bit of verifying. Cool. Late assignments will not be accepted. No, just kidding though. If you are having problems, what you gonna do? Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call if you're having problems? I want to see it. I want to see it. Who you gonna call? That's right, Danielle. That's right. FSO. That's right, Charlotte, Christina. That's right. And they are gonna give you what? You're not just gonna say, "Hey, Steve, I called FSO and they told them they got problems." What are you gonna show me? Because I'm gonna say, "Show me the ticket." Charlotte's right. Show me the ticket. I'm slamming my hand down, but I don't want to hurt myself. Show me the ticket. All right? Because late assignments are not affected. Any questions? That's it, man. It's not that hard. This is a very paint by numbers rule. Any questions? All right, so check it out. As I told, thank you, Bruce, Charita, Charlotte, Christina, Danielle, Jason, Richette, and Willie. Thank you so much. I'm going to stay on here for a while, as long as I've got questions and everything, even though we're going to stop the archive. So you feel free to hang out afterwards. I want to tell everybody listening to the archive that I want to make sure that remember the expectations. I don't expect you to fully be able to go do it the first time just by listening to me. I expect you to go practice a few times, and then you'll be able to do it, right? So, with that being said, if you are not figuring it out after 2 or 3 times through that video, I want you to reach out, no matter who your instructor is, via the FSO messaging system, and ask for help. So remember, screenshots always help us. So it's just kind of like going to the doctor. If you're like, oh, my stomach hurts, they're going to say, well, come in, let me poke around and feel and see what, internal organ might be the bad one. So send us screenshots to help you out. So it looks like I've got no other questions live, so I'm going to wrap up this archive. I want to thank you for being here live. Bruce, Charita, Charlotte, Christina, Danielle, Jason, Richette, and Willie, thanks again. I will be here next Monday night at 7 p.m. Hopefully my voice is sounding a little bit better. I'm tired of these allergies going around here. But to all of you in archive land, thank you very much. As always, I am Steve Kane. Peace out.